What is going on YouTube? Hannah back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. I just want to give a notice in advance that I have crazy allergies right now. Somehow we're finally getting some summer, which is great, and the pollen is atrocious. So I may have to skip some stuff in the video, cut out some stuff if I sneeze or sniffle. So just be mindful of that. I appreciate the nice warming comments. Otherwise, we will be looking at the charts, obviously discussing Bitcoin at $9,600. What exactly is going on? There is some very, and I mean very crazy stuff happening within these markets right now. We are getting ready for what could be a very big movement that a lot of people are not ready to experience and are not prepared to experience. That's pretty much going to be it. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can DM me over there. A lot of you guys seem to be taking action of that, so huge shout out to everybody who wants to reach out. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, as you can see, I am on my current channel, and you can see yesterday's video, we discussed the truth about when XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin's next, big move is going to happen, next price explosion is going to happen. As you can see clearly, the chart on the thumbnail shows resistance. It shows the price slowly climbing back up, hitting this middle moving average, and not being able to get above that. That is one thing I do want to talk about in today's video. Which direction we're going to be moving to, how high are we going to be moving to, how low we're going to be falling, where are we going to be going to, price levels, things of that nature, and then obviously when to be buying in, when to sell short, when I am going to specifically be doing that, and things of that nature. So I think I refreshed this, but I'm going to do it again. You guys can see top 10 cryptos, everything is flatlined. I mean, not really on the price graph flatlined, but the past couple of days when we've looked at the current coin market cap, the prices are literally not up 1% or not down 1%. We've merely just been doing nothing at all. And that's what is concerning to me, not necessarily in a bad way, because as we know, we can profit now off of drops in the market, but it does show that we are getting ready for what could be another big drop in the price. So moving on to these cryptocurrencies. We're going to look at Litecoin, Bitcoin, we're going to look at Ethereum, and we're going to look at XRP. A lot of these coins have some very different movements. Litecoin and XRP seem to be very similar right now, as these are both below their middle moving average. Bitcoin and Ethereum are both above, so they are slightly similar compared to the others. And they're definitely all showing some different signs. So I'm going to kind of give you my thought process to each crypto and then kind of make a general analysis and then figure out what exactly is going on. So when we look at XRP, clearly we're obviously below our downtrend. We have this massive resistance. We've discussed this. We know about this. You can clearly see the massive correction that we've had since 2017. Literally, ever since then, been 3 years of just resistance. Every time we've hit this white band right here, we end up breaking bearish and we fall lower. Now we come to a stalling point. You can see back in 2017 when we had support here, we were kind of trading in this channel for a little bit, and now we're finally back to that level, retesting it. That's the weekly chart. So you can see we're kind of hanging out here. So honestly, this is definitely a resistance. There is a ton of resistance that the coin is facing, but it comes down to whether or not we're obviously going to be breaking bullish or whether or not we're going to be breaking bearish. When you look on the daily, you can see a lot of negative things. We're below on the middle moving average. We're trading at 50 on the RSI, which means a pump is about to happen. But we're also below the downtrend and we're below the middle moving average, and it doesn't seem like it wants to break up much higher due to the fact that there's a lot of resistance here. There's a good chance we could fall lower, probably retest 18 cents. I know we're trading at 20. Very good chance we could see a 2-cent drop in Bitcoin, in XRP's price. So be mindful of that. Obviously, anything can happen. We could easily shoot up in price, but there's a lot of factors that are showing or giving me signs as a pullback could be happening. Now, moving on to Litecoin. Litecoin is in a very similar situation. It was in an uptrend for a very long time, a couple of months since March, April, May. And then just recently, we were retesting this middle moving average. We got rejected from both this middle moving average and support. We broke bearish through the uptrend, and now we're using it as a bit of resistance where the price can no longer pass through that. Not only that, but if you scale us out ever so slightly, you can see the massive symmetrical triangle or massive triangle we are trading in. I can trade this on the daily to give you, or sorry, on the weekly to give you a better overall view. Check it out. Now you can clearly see the massive support and then the massive resistance, very similar to Bitcoin. But you can see we're getting intertwined in that, and there's a good chance we're probably not going to be breaking bullish from that anytime soon. It's definitely a possibility. You know, I can't cancel that out. But for right now, I don't think we're going to be breaking through that. I think there's a good chance we'll either get intertwined in here and then break bearish, fall easily to $36, or we're going to battle this out and slowly scale down. But there's a lot of bearish signs here that we're going to be falling. We're below the uptrend, we're below resistance, and we're below the middle moving average, and there's a downtrend. There's a ton of factors at play that are a ton of support barriers and a ton of barriers that we need to pass in order to break out and shoot up higher. It's definitely possible if the coins allow it to, but I don't think it's very likely. The only sign of like good support is the fact that it looks like there wants to be a cross on the MACD, but there is still time for rejection, and we could easily swing back down the other way if the market starts to, you know, turn back around. It's not a bullish cross just yet. It could just be a rejection, and we could correct lower, and that's ultimately what I'm expecting. So if XRP looked bearish, Litecoin looked bearish. Sorry for the sniffles. Now I want to show you Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then we'll wrap up today's video. You can see Ethereum looks bearish, and I'll explain this in a couple of reasons. I also, just before I forget, huge shout out to everybody supporting me on Patreon, guys. I think we're at like 83 or 84 patrons, on our way to 90. And then my goal since I started this channel like 3 years ago was to get 100 patrons, and we're almost there. So huge shout out to everybody supporting me on Patreon. I fully revamped the entire website, the entire way we're doing stuff, and it seems to be working extremely well. Basically, now you guys have some pretty awesome tiers to choose from, and I share with you guys my trades, my stop losses, my limit orders, my market orders, my, you know, everything you could possibly think of, leverage trading, everything in regards to my personal trading. If you guys were interested in learning about what I'm doing, interested in learning about my trades, and wanted to support the channel, huge shout out to everybody currently doing so. Definitely check it out. The link is in the description. Now to jump back onto Ethereum and wrap it up with Bitcoin. You can see Ethereum also has a bearish signal to it. It looks good on the RSI though, trading at 57. The MACD, like I said, appears to show a potential bullish cross. There is a potential sign of a bullish cross, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. There's still a chance it could get rejected and fall lower. That is still a huge possibility that we have to play out and we have to consider. That is still an option. And also very similar to, I believe it was Litecoin. Litecoin broke bearish outside of its uptrend and had its support here. It fell. It's now getting carried by its middle moving average. We had a bullish cross on that moving average right there. That's a great sign. But the thing is, we are stuck in between a channel. There's a massive channel here between, I'd say, 125 and 226 on Ethereum. And I don't think we're going to be able to break 224. I really think if we do get a little bit more movement to the upside in today's charting, maybe tomorrow, the next day, I don't think we're going to hold there. I don't think there's enough support to let it go higher, and I think we're going to collapse, pull back down, correct to 180, maybe go down to 123. Definitely a possibility, 127, around that area, and then we may start to see some higher movements. Now, to wrap up today's video with Bitcoin, ultimately, this is the last signal as to why I am slightly bearish on the market. I know yesterday was pretty crazy. Yesterday or 2 days ago was Sunday, and that closed the candle. This, for the first time in months, we actually managed to close a weekly candle below this downtrend. You can see the downtrend on the market right now for Bitcoin. This is the first candle we literally closed, but it's so insignificant too. I mean, it's definitely a good sign, but I mean, just a small adjustment like this would put everything below it. And you know, it's still definitely still feasible. It still works very well. Literally just slide this here, boom, everything works again. So just because ever so slightly on my chart that I have it so that we were above here doesn't necessarily mean we are bullish just yet. You can see today's weekly candle is definitely all over the place, tons of uncertainty here. And there's a very good chance, personally, in my opinion, we're going to be shorting this all the way down to point E right here. So from C to D, we had a bullish market for about 3 months. Now D to E, I expect to have a bearish market for the next 3 months. Definitely let me know what you think. I am going to be shorting this coin. I'm going to be shorting Bitcoin on DueDEX, selling short right there. There is a link in the description, and my Patreon does explain a lot. And I do tell you guys, hopefully if you have any questions about DueDEX, you can let me know. You can DM me on Twitter, things of that nature. But DueDEX is a huge tool to have in your tool chest, and I highly recommend you sign up. It's free to sign up, and I do believe they offer, I think, up to $70 in free Bitcoin. But otherwise, I'm going to get these allergies taken care of. Sorry for that. But otherwise, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, follow me on Twitter, CryptoViaOfficial, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.